Hi. Have you ever noticed that the smarter you get, the harder it is to feel like you really belong anywhere? You walk into a room, everyone's laughing at something that does nothing for you. The conversations feel safe, surface level, scripted. You smile, you nod, you play along, but inside you're somewhere else entirely. You're listening to the conversation under the conversation. You see the patterns, the contradictions, the things that nobody wants to say out loud. That's not arrogance. That's not you thinking you're better than everyone. That's just what happens when your brain refuses to live on autopilot, right? People talk about intelligence like it's this shiny prize. Nobody warns you about the side effects. Nobody tells you that once you start seeing how things actually work, it gets harder to just relax into the simple stories that keep most people comfortable. Intelligence is not about knowing more facts, right? It's not Jeopardy. It's perceiving more. It's connecting dots that other people don't even notice. It's following a thought all the way to a conclusion that's uncomfortable and refusing to lie to yourself about what you see when you get there. And here are the facts, right? Most people are not looking for that. They're not looking to question the game. They're just trying to play it. They're not interested in pulling off the mask. They're busy making sure that their mask fits them just right. They don't want to ask whether the emperor has clothes. They want to hang out with the people that are talking about the fabric on the clothes, right? So when you gently point to the loose threads, when you ask the question that cuts through the illusion, it unsettles people. Not because you're wrong, but because you might be right. And that's when you start hearing things like, you're overthinking it. You're too serious. You care too much. You're making things really complicated. But after a while, you learn to dial it back. You simplify your language. You sit on the deeper thoughts. You laugh at jokes that you do not actually find funny. You let other people stay comfortable, even if it means that you're bored out of your ever-loving mind. And if you're not careful, you start to believe the story that intelligence equals isolation. That being fully yourself automatically means being alone. But this is where I disagree, right? Sure, being awake in a sleepy world can feel lonely. Yes, you're going to be misunderstood. Yes, the way you think is going to be too much for some people. That's all very, very true. But loneliness does not have to be the headline of that. Because here's the part that never gets said loudly enough. You don't need everyone to get you. I'm going to say that again. You do not need everyone to get you. You just need your people, and often, really, you only just need your person. That one human who meets you at depth, who's not scared off when you say the quiet part out loud, who's willing to look at the hard truths with you and still choose joy. Someone who can talk about the hard, real stuff and then 5 minutes later laugh with you about something absolutely ridiculous. I found that in my wife, Claire. She's smart. She's emotionally aware. She sees patterns too. She gets it. I can say the thing that everyone else would label as too intense, right? And she doesn't flinch. She leans in. She adds to the conversation. She asks an even sharper question. The world might not always get me, but she does. And that changes everything. And that's really what I want you to hear and get out of this. Intelligence is not a curse that dooms you to permanent loneliness. It's a filter. It strips away the shallow performative connections that were never real in the first place and makes room in your life for the relationships that actually matter. Sure, the crowd's gonna thin out, right? The people you used to see all the time, you're not gonna see them as much anymore. Sure, the room's gonna feel quieter. But when you stop spending all your energy trying to fit into conversations that drain you, you open up space for the rare, real ones that feed you. Sometimes it looks like one friend, sometimes it looks like a mentor, but sometimes, if you're lucky, like me, it looks like a life partner. And in the meantime, there's another truth here that nobody teaches us as kids. Solitude is not the absence of connection. It's the presence of yourself. Right? If you're an intelligent, reflective person, your inner world is not empty space. It's a whole universe. You can sit with your own thoughts and not be bored. You can wrestle with ideas. You can fill up that whiteboard on the brain. You can build it. You can break things. You can rebuild entire mental models in an afternoon. Just ask Claire. She'll tell you how frustrated she gets when I do that. But it's okay, because you can be with yourself when this happens and actually enjoy your company. You know, the problem is that society often treats this as a flaw. If you're not constantly surrounded by people and constantly posting on social and constantly going out, there must be something wrong with you. You must be, antisocial, depressed, broken. No. Nope. Sometimes you're just not interested in trading your peace for noise. Signal is always better than noise. Speaking of signal versus noise, there's a good blog that I like to read by the guys of 37 Signals. Anyway, right. So, when thinking about this, signal versus noise, the real danger is not being alone. The real danger is abandoning yourself so you never have to be. Dumbing yourself down to be accepted by people who don't really matter is a real special kind of lonely. All right, pretending you don't see what you do see so you could belong to a group that wouldn't accept the real you anyway. That's a real special kind of pain, right? You only get one guaranteed companion in this life, you. And if you lose that relationship, nothing external will fix it. Nothing. So here's my take. If you're the too deep one, the overthinker, the one who sees through the script, you're not broken. You're not defective. You are not too much. You're awake. And if that feels lonely sometimes, that's okay. It's okay. Let it be honest, not hopeless. Use that space to stay true to yourself instead of shrinking away. And in the middle of all that, stay open to the possibility that your person exists too if you haven't found them. Someone whose mind feels like being home. Someone who challenges you and comforts you all at the same time. Someone who can sit with your deepest thoughts and your dumbest jokes and love both of them. I'm grateful every day that I found that in Claire. You don't need the whole world to understand you. You need to understand you. You need to understand you. And you need a few real connections that honor that version of you. Once you have that, you're not lonely. You're free.